I'm not Kevin the rate, Kage as the trick, on camera, it's not always gonna be the same thing as on a camera. Jama state. In the impact I put Kubango good thing as Naba and the bullies abantu dithi welcome to Mamelodi TV show. VR corner okanye ndibulise wena ndenze njani aseyiqala phansi yebo because ngoku ndizointroducer or ndizothi ndiphethe ugatsheni khawuze introduce ebantwini yebo kanjani
hayi ngi-introduce mina angizazi kwasamina
thini thixo gatsheni
uma ngithi ngiyaintroduce ngiyi-introduce ezobala
ayahanda nje umuntu ozithandela ibhola mlandi lomkhulu webhakabhaka, a big fan of local football and an advocate of South African coaches in our league. Kanjalo.
Usungichazela.
Azikho.
Khona ngizazi ukuchaza mina. Asikungichazi.
Ke kaloku people must know mabakazi ba okay uke wadlala phi in terms of the structures of South African football ngexesha lakho usadlala just not very much. You're gonna mention though your South African what you call South African colors, your provincial, if you can just to give them a bit of banangalo.
Hayi prof asika.
Funa mama umuntu amaziyo.
Asika deep.
Singayideep. Abantu funa mama umuntu amaziyo ke.
Okay. Nguba prof ayanda wandlovu isibongo njengoba useshilo prof I'm a football fan, football love, football supporter, whichever way you might want to call it. I've played football for
top down. Top down because bottom up uzoqala ezoxa uqale ndawo.
Angazi, but I've played Ebola. The highest level that I've played NFD. I was playing for Durban Stars at one stage, or I was in the books of Durban Stars one stage. I've played with Vodacom League, which is Motsepe League nowadays. In second division.
Yes,
second division.
Yes,
I've played for teams that I've played for NFD. I mean, go Motsepe League or Vodacom. I've played for UKZN. I've played for Maritzburg City. I've played for Brasilia, Maritzburg. I've had an opportunity or in Canada to be coached by the best coaches. To mention the few, I've been coached by Mamelodi, I've been coached by Kaizer, I've been coached by Calvin Peterson, just to mention the few.
Umuntu ongafuna ukuva Kevin ngaba akafuna ukuva. Ngithanda ungafuna ukuyiveza nje babuke wadlalela South African University Sports. Ngamaxesha yakho. Uthela nje uyifihla nje. Hamba siyeke. Impumelelo TV show VR corner yayazi ke sithi numbers do not lie. Ndiniphathela ugatsheni kapha wayanda njengobechilo sizothetha nje ngo PSL njengoba singathi siya ekhefini le World Cup no December. It's a different years kale sasavala compared to eminye iminyaka. Sizawutya nje kancinci touching few on izinto ezenzekile previous, I would say playing weeks. Normally ke sizofocusa kwezi teams zethu zinkulu eziye zibe ne-impact enkulu i-performance yazo kwi-national team or kwi-country as a whole eziye zithathe laa nto uba kwenzeka ntoni na zithathe i-attention yomntu wonke. Itshilo ke le ndoda yathi libhakabhaka elikhulu. Ndifuna ndiqale ndithi congratulations to i-Pirates for winning MTN 8 last man standing. Ndithi woza bhakabhaka.
Yeah, we won that, but I was not happy. I was really not happy about with how we played in that game. We final. yabo. But nevertheless, I'm happy win. But overall, how we play as the Orlando Pirates, I'm not happy. I'm really not happy. Abantu ngiyenibezwe bethi, hey, Pirates has changed, hey, this coach is coming with the change. But unfortunately, from where I stand, I still see the same Pirate that has been for the past, I don't know how many years. The inconsistency of Pirates is still there. Because even now, my seasons, the problem was the inconsistency. And we still have that even now. And the game there, this weekend, it's a testament to that. Because look how well we played against the Sundowns a week or two or a couple of weeks back. Then now we play them again. You'll expect Uti will have a better performance, but then we have such a terrible performance. You look at how we played against Chiefs in that game where they won 1-0. Really, we were coming from Sundowns, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely.
So everyone expected Uti, hey, Pirates, because it has changed. It will come with that performance from Iloki Sundowns. But we were under par. Comparatively speaking, we were under par. We did not play as well as we did when we played Sundowns. And that has been our problem, that inconsistency. You don't know which Pirate is going to rock up the game. They can make an excuse and say, but this weekend when we played the Sundowns, we played and stuff. But that I don't think there is an excuse, because I would say the same with the Sundowns. But the Sundowns had an improved performance. Why can't we have an improved performance as well when we play ourselves?
Kev, one of so many happy people around there, so many enthusiastic, so many rejuvenated, if I may use those normal games. Abantu abaninzi bahappy ngeperformance, abantu abaninzi bahappy ngocoach, abantu abaninzi bayibona ikhanya ngomso. Mhlambi ke abanye bona ke so into bana they are happy now that the Pirates win MTN 8. They are not wrong. Winning a cup is not as easy as we might think. If it was easy, we could compete to that level whereby every other season we win. Kev, ndikuvile mention consistency kakhulu ibhakabhaka. It's the main issue, consistency, which is very evident even in the previous years, as you said. Omnye umuntu ke ngoku xa ezoyijonga laa nto ivule ayisondeze eduze athi no, look, but Pirates this season compared to Pirates last season, as much as it looked like abekho consistent, there is a level of consistency in a way that bona they become so difficult to beat when they score early, when they score in the first 10 minutes of the game. If ndikhumbula kahle, in numbers the Pirates zithi in the 4 games that they won we league, I mean the 5 games that they won we league, but only in the first 10 minutes.
Sure.
In the games that they won we cup, when they played MTN 8 against Royal AM, they scored in the first 10 minutes. In the game that they won in the MTN 8 before Amazulu, which is against Sundowns, they equally scored in the first 10 minutes. So this season, Pirates has only won 1 game apho abangakoranga in the first 10 minutes. So omnye umuntu uzovela athi no, basically it's a level of consistency, but iveza some lack of coaching that talks to the requirements of the game itself. But the planning is there from the coach, because if we said let's go then get that goal, we get it.
about ilokho, you can be consistent in inconsistency. Yabo? And you can be consistent doing izinto that are not going to be sustainable in the long run.
Definitely.
Yabo? And you can't say izinto they don't need to change with Pirates. Or a Pirate needs to score goals for 10 minutes and win games. If they don't score goals, it's fine. It's fine. Because look at the game that they played. I think the week game, the final.
Yes.
The final itself. Pirates, I think they scored first half, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they scored first half. And the game was theirs. Like, for all intents and purposes, the game was the Pirates.
Yes.
They were dominating the game. The whole of first half, they were dominating. Then comes second half, the Pirates, now they are sitting behind the ball, allowing opposition to attack us. Now we are giving the opposition a confidence that they are not warranted, because there's nothing that they did second half for us to say, first half for us to say, when we go back to the second half, let's stay behind the ball, let's give them the ball. There's nothing that they did that warranted us to change our first half tactics to those tactics. And that has been the consistency. You would see every time we Pirates, when they come second half, they stay behind the ball.
Yes.
Invites unwarranted trouble. And that is why when we don't score first half, we lose the game or we draw the game. Because even when you have mentioned Uti Pirate has been scoring 10 minutes and they've been winning those games about now for first 10 minutes. But a Pirate has only scored in one game second half.
Yes, definitely.
In one game. In all the games that they've played, they've only scored
19 games.
2 goals second half.
19 games to be specific. They've scored only 2 goals, or in one game in the second half.
Game.
In the last 10 minutes, when everyone is throwing everything up front. Yes, it's good.
So you can't say, Uti, we've been consistent in terms of winning because we score first 10 minutes. That is consistent. That is the consistency. That is the consistency we don't want. Because Leon, it's unsustainable. Leon.
Look at this, Kev. The events it's a kind of consistency. It shows the planning from the training ground.
Planning a better.
It shows the training from the training ground that, look, okwethu ukuvuzisa igazi kuqala.
Yeah.
Yebo.
Yeah.
Angikho sure ke uba ikhona na i-plan B. What if alisavuzanga ke igazi kuqala?
Usakhumbula ukuthi I asked you this one day ngathi, is it the yanto le Pirates ye planning ye Pirates ukuthi asivuzise igazi kuqala within 10 minutes is to catch them while they are asleep.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
There's nothing in Pirate. There's no, besides the 2 goals. Where Sundowns.
Now, okay. Now, it's the last 10 minutes of the game. Whereby they're throwing everything. So now,
so we capitalize ulawoma. I would say lapses. Yes, lapses opposition in terms of concentration. First 10 minutes of the game, ama team amanye asuke salele because ayigame isando kuqala ishuma ngenza kalani sizokhava yabo, then we score. Yes, on the shot. And last 10 minutes of the game, ama team now are throwing everything. Sundowns is chasing the game. Then this is Sababam. Yes, on the shot. There's nothing of our creativity was playing, and they created an opportunity. They created a goal. No, it's because the opposition ilalile, then Pirate capitalized. Yabo, ake ngenze mhlambe omunye umzekelo, buka amagoli eSundowns that they scored against us this week. Yes, we had our own mistakes. We were too open at the back. We gave them too much.
You were one man short, but red card.
But I don't think it was a matter of that. I just think Abandu, they were in wrong positions at the wrong time. Because numbers were there. Definitely. It's just that the numbers in the box, were not picking the right people. But the numbers.
So get back to the point.
So the point is, look at Amagoli Sundowns. Amagoli that you'll appreciate it build up. You'll appreciate ukuthi leli bola beliyale wenza ngathi ubheka le walphasa le kwase kwavuleka then waseshaya u6 yard then we panic. You know you can trace how igoli ukuthi ligene kanjani. Uyalibona nayi build up. Uyazwa ngisho our Pirates opposition is attacking, the next thing is a little ball. Hey, what is on at this moment? Bro, you know, there's nothing at it. There was a patient build up, or there was a build up of some sort. Someone thought, let me not pass there, let me pass there. Let me not take this random.
So uthike ngoku kule situation okay sibonile le situation ephakaphaka ngendlela ayiveza the numbers ziyavumelana nawo. Thomas still out of 19 games you've only scored 2 in the second half. Nakule game okore ngayo the first half where you've won the only game you didn't score in the first 10 minutes. Omnye umuntu angathi ba good free kick yeSaleng, the fact that bene idea ba uyakhona ukeep kwayona ukeep ubanjwelele. So njengoba usithi ba izinto ezenzeka ngazo izinto zithetha zonke almost everyone uyazibona but we decide not to see for a reason engayaziyo abalandeli bebhakabhaka ba why bengafuna ukuzibona izinto. So ezi zinto ezizingaka Kev uzozithatha uzithini ungaziyamanisa neplanning kacoach. Xa umjongile ucoach wePirates ngocoach ongathi uzokwenza umehluko going forward because sovezile ba from where he started up until now. Congratulations for the couple. Kodwa awuboni umehluko. Ubona engathi Pirates if ubona engathi izokwenza umehluko ucinga ba kwi league njengoba izoqala ngeSundowns nge31st xa ibuyayo ingafumana ipoints ezingaphi kwezi points eziyi53 eshekileyo ebody.
Okay, yazi elinye iphutha esilenzayo is to judge quickly. You find a young player will come in namhlanje will have a touch yabo amnandi kule game yanamhlanje. Next thing we post lo mfana is a star. Lo mfana is going to be big. Lo mfana kwasho wathumana because sinale yanto ukuthi I want to be the first to have identified the talent lo mfana so that abantu bezobona sathi khona engikwazi. Yabo like my knowledge of football is deeper. Yabo ngibona izinto then bese asibanikezi abantu enough time be it umuntu uyabed. Sometimes we have to say hey he didn't have a good game, not to say uyaboza. We have to show he just didn't have a good game.
The other one had a good game.
The other one had a good game. Then umuntu uze umbone repeatedly enza a producer the same performances. Then best we are sure say hey has lombana lo khona into ezana thatha lombana lo we Sundowns about lo Koran
Malul
Cassius, yes. You know that boy now you can safely say
this is uphethe something.
Yes.
You understand it's not uphethe something. As it you would say
you can safely say I know this boy.
Contact
this boy. We are sure because usekutshengisile now and again yabo moving to coach Pirates. The reason why ngisho kanjalo angifuni to say awu coach akaphethe lutho or ngithi ayu coach khona aza nako. Uyayizwa ngisho and kumina it becomes very difficult ukuthi kukhona umuntu who has concluded that based on what, when we are still this inconsistent, when we are still like having ama issues lawa esiwapointa out manje ukuthi second half we don't play, Pirate second half they don't play, Pirate second half they don't score. You can't say that is normal. Isho kuthiwa siyawina, but you can't say ukuthi that is normal.
But abantu bahleli bathi ni compete league. Kulo nyaka you are here going down all the way, the Sundowns taking you to the wire. That is why the boost but ucimba kwezi points ezishiyekileyo. Okay, just like not to say an exact number. Looking at the situation that we just mentioned ibana ibhakabhaka noba ningafumana ipoint ezingaphi. Mna sendizotsho on average South Africa mhlambi that's number bani kwi league general.
Siyabheja thina prof. Siyabheja.
Amapanda.
Yes, and sidliwa njalo. Some of the reasons why sidliwa njalo, it's because we put our trust emathimini njengopirate. Bazokutshela abantu ababhejela iPirate ukuthi idlisela kanjani iPirate. Bazokutshela nabantu laba abakhulumayo abathi no iPirates this year it's different. Pirates izothatha ileague. When they bench, abayifaki iPirates. I'm telling you, abayifaki because bazokutshela uma sesemakhona, hey wayifaki iPirates. Because awazi ukuthi ama results azobe yini iPirates. Pirates will play Sundowns. This game they will win. The following game they will play Galaxy, they will lose. That's Pirate for you. They will beat the Sundowns with 3-something. They will play Galaxy the following week.
But in the Spanish guitar, it's not changing.
Ayikho leyo. Sadro one is Sundowns. Right?
The special one shows.
Sadro one is Sundowns.
Yes.
We played very well in that game.
Yes.
What happened the following game?
You gave them a beating. 3-0.
Hey, she Sundowns.
Oh.
The following game, it was
the league game.
Yeah.
Did you play Skukuni?
Yeah.
You lost to Skukuni 2-0?
Yeah, I think we lost to Skukuni
2-0, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Coming from that performance, yes, Sundowns, where everyone, even myself, in that game, I had hope because new players were introduced in that game. So I saw how well Pirate performed, and I thought, okay, it's because of these new players who were playing in that game. So I thought, with these new players, if this is how we're going to play, definitely in our next game, and when we play the so-called smaller teams, we will do better.
Okay.
And I was wrong. So
maybe you went out. The time
where do I see Pirates at the end of this current season? I can't tell because I don't know which Pirates will pitch up in our next game.
Okay, fair enough, Kev. Fair enough. Okay, but no, as Gonini, was Yavela plus entire opening on my pant. Now as the Bagabaga, I pick one of the supporters in Zazibar through thick and thin. In Ibone Pirates, and develop our voice out. But no, I'm still within. Ungatin go naba balandeli and be ban image. Ungatin balandeli bepagabaga before so.
In fact, ngeke uze uthi abantu abangabi happy if they want to be happy. Yabo. But mina, how I look at Pirate manje, I'm not happy. There's nothing that's...
Not for the expectation.
I'm not happy because my expectations are awasiyona lento engi-expecte kwi-Pirates. Engangenza ngibe happy. I-Pirates in my books, or ngendlela mina engiyibo nangakhona, it has equality, mhlambe engathi it's similar to that of Sundowns in terms of players.
Second best in the country. You can all argue that.
But how we play, it's far away from that. It's far away from that. There's nothing that shows this is Pirates.
So Kev, ezinto njengoba ushilo eda namazulu ke ngoku.
Yeah.
Kinds of edit coaching. As njengoba ubuchile but they've been there, this inconsistency. Now in the new season, we've got these inconsistencies with the new coach, the Spanish guitar. Namazulu njengoba sithi ngizowafaka because ngenye team ngokwesingathi isasasalazo linyukile because bakwazi nokuvotela into the top 4 in the country, which I believe it was a vacant position according to the top 3 that we know.
Yeah.
So also they hired a coach that hadn't won a PSL game after playing about 6 games. And then he got to them. Now they've played about 7 with the Amazulu. The team has only won 1 game. His team has only scored 1 goal. Would you say now, zonke izinto zenzekayo in this team to play like this is the Amazulu Pirates, ndithi no Chiefs with new appointment of others one, zonke the unpredictabilities and performances zihambelana kakhulu nabantu abaqashiweyo kanye sisimo se players?
Hey, mina, when it comes to bad performance, yeah, your team, mina, angazi noma mhlambe it's because mhlambe ngibona nami ngumdlali, but I always put a blame to the coaching and the management. Because mhlambe from experience, not experience at that level, but I know professional footballers, a lot of them. I interact with a lot of professional. I interact with a lot of professional players. So I might not experience the environment me and myself, but through Bona.
Yes.
I experience that environment. And in most cases, from what engi pick up, environment is not conducive for players to give their best. But Tina, as abalandeli, you ask yourself, how bad lo muntu lo uhola 100,000 a month. Utambai always says abadlali bebhola it's like ubambi lotho every month. But that is not enough. That is why sometimes you have players who are willing to take pay cards. Ahamba umuntu ayodlala etimini encane or ahamba ayokwenye team enkulu but athathe pay cards because ufuna ukudlala. Because at the end of the day it's not about imali, yabo, it's about playing. When you play, it's about the environment odlala kuyona. And all coach and the management are responsible to create that environment which is conducive for players who perform at their level best. Some of the players we played with them before badlala PSL. You know what they are capable of. Some bafikile PSL bashisa futhi. But then mhlambe kufike this coach, then they have issues with the player, then a player has issues with indaba zeimali, then the performance starts changing, even on the field as well. Yabo. So ngithi mina, all coach, they have a role to play. How they communicate with their players, the tactics on the day, how they manage players. Because any better it's how they manage players. You cannot expect players to deliver when they are not happy with how you manage them as a coach or as a team. So
okay, Kajin. Ndikuveka kahle xolo ngokunqamla. Andizophinda le nto ayithethayo. uzivezile lezi zinto ozivezayo ngogajini. Ndicinga uba maybe the co-coaching le ibikenzeka yayi-trend in the South African football was something to bring in different minds to try and solve that situation. I wouldn't say it didn't work in any case because Sundowns has won about 3 leagues with that. They've won about every cup that is there with that. If ayisebenzanga kanye inewanga time, inewanga xesha, because it's not easy to judge when there's in so much. Yeah. But there's been a lot of that co-coaching syndrome or a trend in the country. Now, one person that is sitting here, Prof, in the VAR corner, uyayibona le co-coaching yenziwa the experienced coaches that have paid their fees coaching on all the levels of South African professional football. Boom, come a coach, a 32-year-old from overseas. Maybe the people that are hiring, the team that is hiring, Yamazu Velapi, Unandodina. When they come to this country, they just come and take over the head role by themselves. Let's move on.
I wouldn't know. I can only speculate. And umangi speculate ile yanto leya yokuthi when say le mindset le mindset ayizukuphela yokuthi when a coach comes from overseas is better.
Even a 32-year-old?
Even a 32-year-old. If enama qualifications,
yes,
then the perception would be he's better.
But now, that's a 32-year-old. Now, Amazulu man said 13 games with 1 win. But nobody is calling for his head.
But Uzungu would not have known that before Amkash. Uguti, hey, 13 games down the line, so Bengala winning game on.
It's like 5. It's like 6 going. 7 or so. Then the Mali Cup, then the Bali ICAF. Yeah. Galan.
Yeah, but we look, Galan. TX Galaxy.
Yes.
TX Galaxy, they have another foreign coach.
Yes.
That is cool. Say TX speaks highly of.
Yeah.
Now one day city for us to develop South African football, we need qualified coaches.
Yes.
But the so-called qualified coach is struggling against.
Yes, 1 game.
13.
Yes.
I got figured this season.
Yes, we know.
Yes, I got figured this season. There's the so-called qualified coach. He's struggling with it because uzombalela last season. How he performed last season. Yeah. So you can't excuse him last season. No, because man, you say win 3 games, it shows he's really a good coach. And we can't really say how long will he keep that momentum going. Let's give him a season symbol. But the fact of the matter is there's nothing tangible. But this UEFA Pro A license.
But look, we've got the best coach that we need in the country.
But for what? Based on what? It's the same thing now Umazu. They hired a coach based on qualifications. I don't even know his qualifications. I'm just assuming it's based on qualifications because ayikho enye into engayicabanga why Amazulu, as ambitious as they are, bahirishe such a young coach. Besides ukuthi kusho ukuthi unama qualifications are superior because they had Ayanda before, but Ayanda was like there was a mismatch between Ayanda as a coach and their ambition.
Yeah.
So as a result, they opted for Upe.
Yeah.
And I understood that. Okay.
The ambition.
The ambition.
I'm with you.
Ayanda has just started coaching. So they thought he's a rookie, as I was who can unleash the pressure or whatever the case might be. But now they go and hire another young coach. So I can only assume what's the reason why they hired this coach. It's because of his qualifications. And by the way, Usizo Yenu
they are a bit sensitive. I'm tempted now. Look, we are in the World Cup. We are in the World Cup year, Kev.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, PSL doesn't have a single player that is representing South African Premier Soccer League in the World Cup. Tying that to very few players that have been produced in the country and exported to the foreign countries. Very, very few, especially to the big leagues. I can count 5 in the past 20 years. If you want to, I can count for you. Talking about big leagues, I'll talk about England, Spain, Italy. Yes, about Germany, they are. Kodwa ngiyazizwa babala kulozo bala abombe suma bala bo OJ to bala bo KG kagezo tegajwe. Look at this. That's Orlando Pirates. That's Chiefs. That's Golden Arrows. Ubale abo Khuma lomntungwa. And this is ukuthi bawufika wadlala igame ezingaphi kwiTottenham. When you went to Tottenham. That's about 4. Ukhona lo endimi lebalayo from Sundowns that went directly to England. It's Percy
down.
Yes, Zungu at France, not to say France is a small league. And where Abonkosi Baya Kono Aminia Perifeld is there was a small league. But just to specify the elite. The elite leagues. We've got only 5 in 20 years.
The German league is nice. The Bundesliga is not a small league.
I said not to say it's a small league, Kev, but to say just pointing the elite. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because almost everyone in the Bundesliga, if they wanna play for Bayern Munich, they would rather go play for Stoke.
Yeah,
that's the reality of it. Yeah. Okay, maybe it's money, but but at least in those years we had those players. That was back then, Kev.
Yeah.
Cool situation is now. We don't have a single player World Cup. We don't produce no players as overseas. Ngeke si tied to this coaching conundrum in South Africa whereby uzanobangubana so coach have got the problem Bafana that cannot beat anyone in a competitive game with the coach that doesn't coach when Mega Vetanda a coaching game standard and a Sapphire. Ngeke we tie on with the caliber of coaches as Matasha in the country.
Hey. There will be unfair coach. There will be unfair coach. There will be unfair Matini. Like when ukhuluma country like South Africa, a country that doesn't invest with development like other European teams.
Definitely.
So in those situations, you'll find only few will go overseas.
Definitely, I'm with you.
Because even Labandu Laboba mentioned in a bigger scheme of things, those are few people.
I'm talking about 20 years.
Yeah, those are few individuals. And the Ubuga bahamba ningi. Yabo bahamba 20 something. The youngest. Kambe uzohamba in a 24. The youngest. 25. At that time, ungabadlali bapheshe abashisayo suke ubuka umuntu at 19 at 18 oseke kwathiwa lo mfana lo yindaba angayiwini Ballon d'Or lo mfana lo uzowina Ballon d'Or in the future. Basuke sebe mature players who are big players in their teams. In the teams, uma ngithi in their teams angikhulumi ngeteam Stoke.
No,
ngikhuluma ngo PSG, ngikhuluma ngo Madrid, ngikhuluma like Arsenal, big teams, those young players are now the players. So I'm saying ukuthi in a country like ours, lapho khona abadlali khona be mature late in terms of football, where because there's no development ebakhulisayo by the time umfana ena 15, 16, 17, 18 already, to play at least at PSL level. So how do you expect such a player, or for the country like ours, to produce players now who will play overseas at that age? Yeah.
Look, when I mentioned that list, I mentioned Collins Besum.
Yeah.
He was not produced in the country.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned a lot of South African players that were very beneficial to the country in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
We've got players that have went overseas, Kevin.
Yeah.
Going broader now to the so-called big leagues, but not very elite, as Ben is mentioning.
Yeah.
We've sent players to France. Pirates has sent this guy from Zimbabwe. Mugets, man, the Zimbabwean.
Oh, the Zimbabwean.
Yeah.
Center back.
Yeah, center back midfield, center back midfield. Chiefs has sent Uhate. He was playing here. He was not produced here, but he was playing here. Mushebi is there. Is the top goal scorer, an all-time top goal scorer in China. He has played in all those other leagues in other than Asia.
Yeah.
But he came here.
Yeah.
All those players were moving in that time.
Yeah.
But right now, Asbina in a big tournament of a World Cup. London City producing now, I think it's going too far. Yeah. Let's talk about now the players that we buy, because we are not only talking about producing. Yeah. We're also talking about players that we bring to the country, along with the coaches that bring these players. Don't you think Baba the impact now to say, look, it's a big tournament, the biggest tournament of all football. Tina awukwazi uba ndithi ndiyamntobukela la mdlalo wePirates up until kuphela World Cup. Andikwazi ndiyobukela umdlalo weChiefs up until kuphela World Cup. Akwazi ukubukela umdlalo weSundowns noma uhlala ebhentshini as a squad player.
But sasinobani qala
kuma World Cups?
Yes, sasinobani qala. Like because understanding yami umbuzo wakho, these players are playing overseas. Lawo babala they played overseas. But uma ngithi ngiyacabanga nabo they did not play the World Cup, some of them, if not more, all of them. Ubawa
ukhumalo udlalile nje.
Awa
Umntu wathenga kuyela.
Yayilana. But we know. Azange sipalifa.
Ngizobana nonibhana ubuzela ngithi.
Yeah.
UDikhajo wayesithatha nje.
Kuyiphi World Cup?
Uyona le.
No.
Okay,
I count it. 2010. I'll count with 2010.
Imanqobi.
Yeah.
Zambia has never qualified in their history.
Yeah.
It's not solely now based on the South African situation.
Yeah.
But bengiveza ukuthi wena Kev, Gajeni abadlali besiba nabo abadlali that might not solely qualify with their countries to the World Cup, but at least being able to show that if I was in a better country, bengizodlala look decide team ekuyiphi level. But now we've got none of the above.
Okay. Now, yazi yabo uma uyisa to ama foreigners that have been signed. Obviously, it's a different story. Yabo from uma ukhuluma nama South Africans, because ama South Africans we have a lot of issues. Yabo and guys come with a sika phezulu says why a PSL player is not going overseas. Yabo bese si disregard ukuthi the background of that player. Yabo lento le things amukuyichaza.
Ngikuzwe.
Uyazi sure.
But mhlawumbe umuntu uyafuna ukuyizwa ndakuphelisa esithubeni, because I thought we were diverting from not diverting, but we are going too deeper than the answers.
Let's go deep, because uma sikha phezulu, uma sikha phezulu, we never really get to understand why things are happening the way they are, because sikha phezulu yabo, you think umdlali uku PSL, umdlali PSL iqala, we used to have players abaya overseas, but now there are no players abaya overseas kwashawa cinoa yabo, then kusho PSL uyabheda.
I don't know, but
sengiyasho
nabayile babuye ngomabuya bonke,
sengiyasho ukuthi
abantu manje besibukele i-tournament manje Black Label.
Yeah,
bebe bangaphi umabuye bebecela lapha
inqwaba
abakafiki na ku-32 bangomabuya bonke,
and as ngalento leyo mabuye yabo, when ade usakhuluma la eqaleni bengicabanga ukuthi yazi all these players, not all the players that you have mentioned, but kuma players who have gone overseas and came back, very few have came back and dominated the domestic football. Or at least ubone ukuthi
kade yambelile umuntu babebonile
yabo, very few. Abanye most yeah, I can confidently say most yeah, they struggle when they come back, as if like umuntu akazi aye phesheya. And okuthusayo ukuthi when bephesheya bayadlala phesheya.
Hey manje nawe uzongisa kwenye indawo bengakabikho ready kuya kuyona,
but lezinto lezi
intertwined. Look at this guy Jane, yabo ngoba ngithi mina ngakabikho ready kuya kuzona. Zinto emane siyixoxa lezi nje there and there.
Yeah,
to add to lento eshoyo, uBheni weza nabangani bakhe la eFL Pirates abombo amothi.
yes,
Oskilo isn't just a game.
yes,
Zabuya. So now, can you talk to the pace? Can you talk to the demands, the different temperature, the different road travel when you go play games? So and phone is yabo kajena, phone is yabo kajena.
Yabo zonke lezo zinto for me, those are just excuses. Because
but kajena lo besathi busachaza ukuthi busayadipha.
Yeah,
ukuthi sinenkinga ze development enganakwanga ekhanda, nobody focus on the development.
Yeah,
One of the situations that is causing the issue in the country, which is because the players that we bring, okay, Jovan City Bebewell, to the bigger leagues, Abo Katongo, they came and they left. But in the past 5 years, you can hardly point at any player that went there and really did the damage over there, and really did establish themselves over there. So the players that were coming, not to say Kev and foreigners when they are coming in this country, they are just coming here with the good quality that they have. They uplift the standard. They uplift the standard. But right now, or before, these are Chiefs beside abadlali that are playing for their national teams in Africa, whether in SADC or in the West. Pirates was doing the same thing. But but at the moment, kusayina abadlali abangadlali kwi-country zabo basebedlale because they are Chiefs and Pirates and Sundowns.
Yeah.
Only Sundowns that one can believe is a stickable situation of buying players that are playing for the national teams. And arguably, one would say Sundowns by your captain because of that model of signing players. They still understand what it is being a big team. In City, would we say it's because of the coaches, or again it's because of the management, the ambitions of this team as Zinkulu as South Africa?
In fact, angifuni ukuqamba manje angazi. Angazi mfethu, angifuni ukuqamba. Yabo njengoba nje kuyichaza ngiyilalele, and I'm thinking ukuthi as uProf is mentioning something engakazi ngiyicabange, but it's true. It's true. When last did we have a foreign player that will come play South Africa, then leave to apparently. Yes, we've had Hateb, we've had where Shabala.
Yes. Oh, and the woman minutes.
Yes. Yabo, there are very few. To a point where but that used to be
a normality. The end of the season. Yes. Everyone that came from the West would leave
and go play overseas.
Yeah.
And now it's not happening. And I don't know how to explain it.
That Japan Zichuguti in South Africa, we used to sign players that are playing for their national teams.
Yeah.
They can't play for Chiefs, Pirates, or Sundowns. And then they can be called also overseas. Right now, we are buying players that are not playing for their national teams. They come and build their names, their brands. They start being called once they are here.
Yeah.
As I said, it's only Sundowns that can arguably say, look, you're under captain under 23 was a Chile. Captain under 21, the captain that is being called with the national team. So, Njomabe mentioned by Sundowns, the Tango captain. It's not a fluke about Sundowns, you can challenge any trophy. Not because of the money, maybe, but because of the ambition and the understanding, the status of being a big team, the status of buying a player that is going to be able to play and produce good results, whether the situation from the supporters is good or bad, because supporters of the big teams are so unpredictable. But our teams is tying back to that inconsistency.
As sometimes sometimes it becomes easy when a team is not doing well to point out and say they lack ambition.
Yes, true. Definitely.
Sometimes it might not be the lack of ambition. It might just be the wrong decisions. When they really do go get that player overseas or in Africa somewhere,
yes,
they truly believe will give us what we want.
Man, I got a national team,
but saying it's a hidden gem type of a thing.
National team. Yeah. Uzosuka la Hamastid. Uhambe hit nje mesowathi ngadlalela iSoweto All Stars. Ibona wena waseHamastid abantu baseSoweto abayiboni. Is that how special these situations can be?
Yes, sometimes
it happens. The thing is, it's a daily occurrence. Now and again. Look, and the Sundowns when they mention and city the ambition. It's Sundowns I can't go phakathi
yeah.
It's Sundowns yala no Peter Love. It's Sundowns yala emene kubani ubani khona labadlali abaninzi bebalanda bebhatala imali eninzi.
Yeah.
Uzothi omnye umuntu we are saying waste imali. I'm sitting here now not to say as a grown up, but I think I've grown in terms of understanding the soccer thing. They were showing an intent that it relates to the ambition.
Yeah.
Peter was a captain of Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Peter was coming from Man City and many more others. So they were not winning. There was a period between 2007 and 2014. They were winning next, but the intent, in terms of the players that were bought during that time, the captain, if captain I go Lowe Chiefs or for Zim or Tinash, in South Africa now it moved from that. We're buying Abokatande. I'm not to say that disrespect Magoya Sultan V. We're buying Abokatande from Ajax. We give them an armband. Automatically we're saying Zimbabwe mnigeni band, not the other way around. To say Zimbabwe itinazi jemi yetu, South Africa mtatini azondlale. Just an example.
Yeah. But as being fair,
yes.
Okay, ngiyabona sengiyadivert a bit. But ngifuna ukulungisa le kaKatsane was a very good player at Loco. At Ajax.
Kanjani didn't play much that laptop yampha ngoku.
Phela ukuthi awudlali match it doesn't mean ukuthi you are not a good player.
We Chiefs signed him for free.
But it doesn't mean he was not a good
So
player.
I come Bambon as a Sundows to requirement to that level of African.
Yes.
Okay. Country I would next.
Was he not in his national team?
No. Big no. The big no. He got there through Chiefs.
Okay, I wouldn't know, but mina ngiyamkhumbula uKatsani esakwi IS. He was a very good player.
He got there, but he played
kwakuyisikhathi phela ubuye ucabanga ukuthi kwakuyisikhathi
ngamfaka kuleya area ngiyakubona ufuna ukuyaphi.
Was it not the sikhathi so ubani umdlali lo wahamba wayodlalela iAjax
Mubi lo
Inong was it not ngaleso
sikhathi ubaba phela
was it not
no ubaba phela udlala ngalezi sikhathi zoserero but yena engadlali ubaba uziswe ngeplata
bengadlali ukuthi ngudala lapho wafika encane
uziswe ngeplata nguNengomanche as a recommendation of a brother that can fight with Chiefs.
Wena was kangaka
afanele yazi nje mina ngilandela ngithanda kangakanani. He was recommended by Nengomanche
of a brother that can fight embona eZimbabwe.
No, Nengomanche by that time be South African.
But no, book mina ngiyamkhumbula lokho it's not Vinik.
But it's not Vinik gave so much to Chiefs.
He was a very good.
No, he gave so much now Chiefs, Madonna.
Yeah.
But he highlights yami ngaye yokubana
yeah.
You come now and become a captain of your team by virtue of being a captain of a big team at Chiefs.
But he was still young at that time as Ajax. He was very young as Ajax moving to Chiefs.
Hayi masimyeke Sultan V because ngathi ngigadla koyani ngigadli kuyo Sultan V. But it was a very easy pick.
Yeah.
Kanizama ukuveza lento although to be unfair on his case ndobana yena ukhulele up so bebezombona nini ezimo.
Yeah.
So I'm understand Kev.
Yeah. But okay, mhlambe ngoba bese ngiphume eceleni mhlambe ukubuyela kwiloku topic. Like I think in my ultimate answer would be I really don't know what is happening, why our team are not bringing in the same quality of players that they used to bring in South Africa. Yeah, because ngike ngaba tempted to say is it imali, but ngathi no, it can't be imali. Is it the ambition? I wouldn't know. Yeah, because kumina I would not think ukuthi i-team njenge Chiefs, i-team njenge Pirates, they lack ambition. Kumina the only plausible reason that I can think of manje ukuthi mhlawumbe they are just taking the wrong decisions.
Hayi kwaze wadura kanzima khepha hayi kona kunzima serious because ngiyani before sidlula kule point I'm thinking here usuke nje ku Chiefs counted the 6 foreigners because baba nayo lese izitshintshile yaso South Africa and when you look at those 6 foreigners akona yodwa captain ilizwe nayo
uDove akaza i-captain
uDove uyona sendiyasho nje uDove ndimbala una 4 games at Chiefs. Utholwe as a free agent. And
who else is there or a foreign national?
Okama lo.
Yeah. Ukama has never been a captain.
Kuleyanto yethu esihlezi sikhuluma ngayo ukuthi ukwi group of captains. However, Ukama yena naye Tsambala is a different case because his statement was there.
Yeah.
The South African statement was there. So Ukama kathengwanga like any other to Chiefs.
Yeah.
Did you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, ngiyakuzwa.
So yakhe case
different.
Yes, na Obeni, Bemenyama, Caleb,
Bemenyama ilo umuntu lo striker.
Suthi umuntu striker. Uthi la
uyamuntu. Usho lo yamuntu yebo. When
unopepra.
Yeah. Prepper, man, I believe prep.
Now ngiyamthanda.
I believe.
But kaloku ngisho ukuthi uthe maybe because he's under 21 if he is, right?
Yeah.
So, uPepper ndiyamxolela. Understand about bathengwa at that kind of age. Yeah. But if I may go ndiphume ke ngiroster Chiefs at the moment. Chiefs igqiba ukurelease ngokokambole. The rest of the players that you just do not talk about, do not mention them among a brand Kaizer Chiefs. Now we Pirates and the Funuel and the Amdoba list.
Yazi with Prof, another thing coming over sikhuluma ngakho. Yabo I Pirates, okay. I-Chiefs understand about kwenzakala nge-Chiefs. And yabo isho kuthiwa ngiyacabanga ayikho into engiyicabanga.
Ufuna bashawe cha.
Not necessarily. Prof, mina ngibuka ibhola yabo and idliwe Chiefs and ngicasula.
Oh yeah.
Yabo ngicasula ukuthi Chiefs could have won this game. Yabo mhlawumbe sometimes I would blame the coach, sometimes I would blame the players. Yabo ngicabanga ukuthi oh no ayinaba bhetela ucoach ke manje. Yabo but we Pirates, I ain't ngikhulume nge-Pirates. I-Pirates, it seems like bathenga players who are, I would not say bathenga players who are available, but bathenga the players that they want, not the players that they need.
Oh,
It's Sundowns. On the other hand, I would say Sundowns, they buy players that they need, not players that they want.
They've got a system.
Yeah, we are making sure.
Compared to before.
There's a structure. Yes. Then who is going to fit into the structure?
Yes.
Then that is how they buy players. Not ukuthi, hey, sifuna ba uba umdlali ovunyiwe at this present moment. Then they go and buy that player. No, they buy according to who they need. I'm saying that ngoba ngiyabona kwi-Pirates, i-Pirates ngazuthi ithenga uhlobo olulodwa labadlali.
True. Njengama left back ke manje.
Speedy players.
Ukhathala ngo left to speedy
speedy players you go to Pirates. Mobile players you go to Pirates.
Oh.
Sengiyasho ukuthi those are the players that go to Pirates. Abadlali nje. Yabo. Abamobile ngababhizi. Yabo umubhizi. We are with Pirates. With Pirates, even our defensive midfielders are busy. Our fullbacks are busy. Uma ngithi are busy, like mina ngiyambona uMarco mina.
Akhichize.
Ngiyamthanda mina uMarco.
Akhichize.
Ngimbona uMarco mina ebamba ibhola. Ashakathi down the line.
Bangena.
Eliqhube inyawo.
Shoshe.
Ngibuza kwethakalani. Yabo, ngibuza ukuthi kwethakalani la. Yabo, lapho ho thule. Angibadlala uleft bobabili. Ho thule. Nayi. Yabo, umedama ungazi ukuthi kwenzakalani la Pirates. Ubone uBen Mutswane uyibuza ukuthi hayibo. Egcwele ground lonke oyithola everywhere. Kwenzakalani la? And there was a season, I think last season, ngakike ngihlale la sikhulume about okay ngithi ngenza my own mini analysis of how we were conceding ama-goals. And I will tell them ukuthi it's because of uBen Mutswane.
We trap out too.
Yabo, when you need him to be in a particular position, he's not there. He's not there. Because besayosebenza somewhere emayini esaya lapho kozamazama. Kodwa kudlalwa la. Yabo izinto enjengaleza bokuPirates wonke umuntu ubusy.
So do you say maybe it's too much freedom given to the players?
Is it the freedom given to the players or that's how the players are? Because I would say that's how the players are.
Look, as you tell. And Chiefs sometimes you are there, but no man. players is because sometimes bowling at babuye bambhedela coach.
Yeah.
Okanye bad luck to coach.
Yeah.
Hey, bambhedela nina babe Sundowns.
Sundowns, yazi Sundowns.
Oh coach.
Like she or coach. I don't know what was happening, but it will seem like corner into that was happening that we were not aware of. Because umasiba honest, the Sundowns for the past 2 seasons,
yes,
they've not been playing like Sundowns.
I can go elaborate for you.
They've been winning not as convincingly as they were before.
What do you mean? Look,
yeah.
God gave the combis when Peter won his league before he left, he won with a very, not to say squad, yes, and call healthy compared to us, but if we are being honest, not undermining the players that were there.
Yeah.
Jombeke watch on I had about Ramagalela, I had about Mahalwa. He won the league with 59 points, Kev.
Yeah.
But Kule Sundowns, the corner we're saying the past 2 years, it hasn't been convincing. Somebody that really watched and understood the situation at Sundowns.
Yeah.
Mna saying if mna personal umuntu doesn't ngihlala ngisethi Sundowns mayengafikanga ngiyabuka indlela abadlala ngayo ngoba bengafikanga ku65 points umele amaqosho of which 65 points South Africa zininzi ezo points and they've been getting to that level easily.
Okay.
They fly Africa to the semi-finals every year.
Okay, Mina, this is what I'm saying. Sundowns has not been winning with the same fluidity that they used to win with before. Mhlambe 3 seasons back.
For 3 seasons back is the season there about winning league of 59 points, Beshi Pirates 1 point.
And Mina Piggies.
And there was no fluidity, nothing there. They were grinding games 2-1 every day.
That's my point there.
That was way.
It's fine.
So which year are you referring to?
When are you taking it back to Upit? That's when Sundowns started not playing with the same fluidity for the past.
I'm trying to check Uti. Yepile Sundowns that you would say see benchmark and fluidity. Because now
Shambe is Sundowns before the last season a bit.
And
because Sundowns before the last season a bit. Njengobush, Sundowns has been grinding results.
In that year,
yes.
That was the year that they
yes.
creamed.
Yes. Even the last season. Even the last season. Be confused by the number of points they've collected per season, which means they won AMA games. Look at how they won the AMA games.
Kajin. The Sundowns manje, the Sundowns last season. If in memoriam in Sevagak, out of the 28 games, I mean, yes, the 28 games, 30 games that the Sundowns played, 26 times of those games, a man of the match being a Sundowns player, man. That talks to how they dominated the game.
No,
and my man, Nala women of the matter one am defender, I'm attacking midfielders.
You know Lendole, look, I'm a man of the match. That can't be.
It's not a really
proper yardstick to check a team performing and that.
But if it defenders Uzwane according to what Zwane is doing and what Zwane was doing under Pizzo when I prefer Uzwane. He's an attacking midfield at Sundowns. Uzwane ube fluid regime. He's an attacking player. He's the one that is carrying the piano.
Okay.
He's the one that is carrying the guitar.
Okay. But when are you
and yabuza phela sumvumele umbuzo.
No, ngiyasho ukuthi Uzwane.
These are 2 errors.
I think okay. Last season, mina I think ngimbonile Uzwane lo abantu abahlezi bekhuluma ngawo. Not to say bengingaboni ukuthi uZwane is influential with Sundowns. He has always been influential with Sundowns, but I've always said angiyiboni lento abantu abambabazela yona uZwane ukuthi uZwane is this
because he cannot play a team that is less fluid. He started being top dominant and scoring goals when the team started being.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Because even that now amanyama seasons, even not last season, season before last.
Yes.
Uzwane, for me, my biggest problem was his inconsistency. Not in games like as in like udlala kahle this game, akadlali kahle the following game. In a game.
Oh.
Yabo, he will have
like intervals.
Yes. Then kulauma intervals, he will hurt you.
The best players do that.
But within the game itself, he wasn't consistent. He wasn't bringing consistent performances.
All the best attacking players.
Not
attacking.
Not
okay. No,
I'm saying
majority of players that are attacking, but they've got those periods whereby you forget them, they hurt you. And attacking players not gonna come with the whole day like an under 13 winger.
You are giving him an excuse why he wasn't consistent in my game. But now he is consistent in some of our games, even Naman. Because Kwamanyama games
and now it's not hurting. It's not hurting. But now the
problem, but when he's there, he's there throughout the whole game.
The problem is that in this throughout the game now, he's not hurting team as he did when he was having periods.
No,
in terms of creating what we hear about is the goal, about the goals.
Uzwane doesn't need to score to hurt you, Bafet. For Uzwane to score, that's a bonus. Yes, we sure. He doesn't need to create a goal scoring opportunity for him to hurt you. To do that, it's a bonus. What he does during the game is more valuable than scoring a goal than being the one who passes the ball. When Gikuluma the consistency, his consistency, Gikuluma about his involvement in those plays. He might not be the person who passes that ball. He might not be the person who finishes, but his involvement, he makes things happen. And when he's off, it's noticeable.
Yeah. Ndiyayithanda le point zawe because uthetha nomuntu that paradigm of the game.
Yeah.
Whereby you have to be busy the whole day.
Yeah.
Prof, that's me personal. That's not in Mamelodi TV show they are gone. Yeah. That's me now. My sentiment. Muna ndihambelana ne player that once he decides to do something into the game, he can change the game in 2 seconds, in 2 minutes. This busy manga business lo ama involvement ile ubukhala ngayo ngoku kwi Pirates abantu abafuna babusy yonke indawo
no game busy nokuba two different things.
I believe if Kev Uzwane out of this 90 minutes uzokwazi banga bikho involved for the first 15 minutes, but between that 15 minutes and 35 minutes is going to create 2 goals. Let it be.
But where was it?
Let it be. Why do you have to be involved?
Prof, uma ngithi Uzwane in akekho consistent. I mean, in this game, he's there involved throughout the game.
Yes.
When he game is not involved throughout the whole game, intervals.
Yes.
Intervals.
Yes.
Sometimes ubuke iball uzukhohlela nokuthi ukhona eground. Then uzombona sekukhona umuntu oselala ngesifuba phansi. Yabo, Uzwane usekhona eground. And And the Sundowns, I think last season they used to substitute him. Kona iskhathi lapho kona abangamdlalisanga khona mhlambe 4
yet neckling injuries most of the time then
but
yet serious neckling injuries
mina ngishaye khona mina abese
ngamanye igame angithe kuyena bana ngumkhonto waseAfrika umkhonto kwazeAfrika lo
kulungile that's an excuse mina ngishaye ngikubona mina ukuthi you will not play for 4 I don't know how many
ever vele kuzwana
besikhuluma ngana vele
ukujikisa inyok angazi no sifikeni yabona manje sokenze ngathi manje andikho in charge yale because ungithathe wanisa no kulabo abantu nami engithanda ukuxoxa ngabo but ke
no besikhuluma nge-Sundowns ukuthi i-Sundowns over the years
be fluid nini
beyingekho yes fluid beyingekho fluid and mina I'm saying i-Sundowns mhlambe from the last season kapitso right up to okay manje
league nje
mina that's the thing angiphikisi ukuthi they are winning angiphikisi ukuthi they are winning but it's how they are winning
but it's
look at how they play when they win
but they never struggle
they never do you know Leandro Leia it used to happen with our Chiefs and Pirates when a team goes play Chiefs or Pirates you know Pirates ingadlala kanjani but they will win the game yes sure Sundowns mhlambe the past 3 seasons they've been in that phase ukuthi you think when Ibaroka will miss chances then Sundowns will score you know Sundowns will score but Sundowns will score then igame iphele ngo 1-1 but uma uhlala phansi
ngani nabawani lo basho beSundowns keva ngifuna isihlale kakhulu le point
uma uhlala
uxoxa ngenumbers
uma uhlala phansi and you look at game prof you realize ukuthi fuck that was a close game yabo that was a close game Ibaroka bengayiwina leya game
yes
I'm referring to igame yeBaroka because ngisayikhumbula yabo ngisayikhumbula lapho Ibaroka edliwe khona izembe ngale season I think
nanikhumbule yethu yeChip
yabo
manje recently
yabo uyabona ukuthi no this is not the Sundowns as masethiwa any team ledlala neSundowns bezowina le team iSundowns they are not performing at their best but the Sundowns will win the game. It's because they know how to win.
Now they win the same way.
Not entirely. Sundowns ke yaba unbeatable. Like isho bedlala yabo ubone ukuthi
uyazi situation yethu yipi.
Yeah.
We tend to look at outliers and really focus on our comers and outliers. Uyabona yazi kwaye ngicabanga ukuthi ngizakatana director nyacha ngiyazi ukuthi abantu abaningi they will reference about an other game that 5-0 and they say yabona ke hey Sundown but there was one game in how many games in the cup competition
but mina that's not what I'm doing I'm looking at the season yabo ukuthi in a season a team will win a team will win 20 games or a team will lose 20 games but uma uyibuka then you think labantu bawa lose kanjani lama game because of how they play there's something sure and abanye they will win 20 games and you'll ask yourself hey laba bawina kanjani beboza kanje is that there's something sure I'm not saying Sundowns boss but saying ngiyasho ukuthi izinto enjengalezo ziyenzeka in football ukuthi you might not have your best game on the day but the results they just come easy for you they just
because
come
you
easy
know how
because you know how to win so sometimes as a team that wins like that has been winning season after season that becomes a norm that becomes your second nature ukuthi isho i-team endlala nayo ingadlala kahle kanjani on the day but
ibhakabhaka lathola amathemba
wahamba coach
and then after that they've never beaten nobody
wahamba coach why you coach ahamba what was the complaint from the fans?
I don't know.
They were saying we were not playing.
Okay. In a sense that Ankhalange ham. Same as Chiefs and Baxter. They won the league, but never have a Kalimun.
It's because like
Pirates the level manje see how wena sabonile asenze
as we are not playing well. Not Pirates was not playing well.
I think
we were playing well, but we were not playing
Pirates way.
Yes.
With a flair.
We will win. You'll be happy we won. But you still feel it.
Hey, yabona ukuthi manje no coaches teams khona hayi gatsheni sesixoxa katsho la ngizokhetha. Ngizongizona ukusabunyeka impila. Uyelele. Gatsheni ngizoyibona ngizoyivala.
Yeah.
Gogo sesixoxa into eziningi. I think kusazoba mnandi kuze World Cup ngogatsheni.
Yeah.
Ndiyakwazi ke andizuthi ngabapha ama team afuna kiwe kanye nawanye afuna shawo ngiyawazi.
Yeah, ngifuna Spain.
Best asizuthi Spain best kacheni uhamba neziphi kacheni sime ngehating sike siye ngothando uhamba neziphi asinamuntu dina pa wena uchoose abantu kacheni.
No, we World Cup standard German.
Amathalani
we standard. Having said that, I'm not convinced ukuthi they would win. Yabo or mhlambe bazokwenza kangcono
kuna previous time.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. Yabo, but abantu engibabona seriously engibabona bezoyiwina this World Cup. Uma nje ubeka ifiso and whatever not Argentina. They are solid.
Hey, ukuthi nje asizibukele leza games Argentina idlala ngodre Kevin. So we'll see now.
Argentina bethu idlala kude. Yabo idlala kude, but looking at the type of players that they have, looking at what they've done over
Asiva the Cavs zoyibamba. By the way, impumelelo TV show Nival. Isazoba Nival ke Nival ke. Impumelelo TV show VR kona with Prof Champions. Sizoba ne World Cup special lapho sinika nje ukudla kumnandi kwendlebe okanye ukutya kumnandi kwendlebe about what's going to be happening, about where the players are coming from in terms of teams, which countries are they playing in domestically, going forward and stuff. I hope you guys are going to be waiting on us and continuing to engage and supporting the show. We will grow with you. Izakachena Siva
okay. Okugcina bengifuna ukusho ukuthi while sisengile subject le World Cup, I think Costa Rica will surprise abantu abaningi. I think they will surprise. You know why? Ngababuka in 2 games. Argentina siyabheja. So this one day they were playing, I think they were playing USA, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think they're playing isn't that, didn't they win the last qualifier ball? Could they playoff? Costa Rica ngene playoff.
Angazi ukuthi ingene.
They were in the same group but bona bayabodlala nge-playoff.
But what I know, what I know, I doubt ukuthi baye through ama playoffs, but I'm not sure. Okay, ngibabuke, they were not playing USA. They were playing Canada. They were playing Canada. Lapho ngifake iCanada. So ngase ngithi igame angiyibuka. I think I watched them twice. Yo, hayi ngabona ukuthi no man. Who's this Costa Rica? They played well. They won fourth, if I'm not mistaken, that game.
That's why I'm out and trying to predict. I'm just gonna predict by region.
Yeah.
If by any chance a European team wins that tournament, I'm saying maybe a team from France national team, Spanish team is gonna compete, Portugal, Italy, And ayikho sintsho ukuthi eza team samuveza ngoba nzile regionally.
Okay.
Eza teams pha ngaselangeni, eza teams zinelanga because it's going to be hot there.
Yeah.
It's going to be too hot. And then South America, they're used to playing those conditions.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they really be able to acclimatize and be able to compete in that heat. It's a Middle East one.
Yeah, but I think compared to technology will assist them. Serious umangizwa background advanced. I think mhlambe ama-ground or within the field itself, mhlambe they will create a different environment. Mhlambe you'll feel the heat on your way to a grounding and on your way back to the hotel, but otherwise anywhere between a grounding and a hotel, I don't think they will even know what base Qatar.
Kajen, and they look surprised and Zokbona soon, just after the first games of every group.
Yeah.
Just to talk about what has happened, what's gonna come, and looking at what has happened in those games.
Yeah.
Today I would say thank you to you. Thank you to everybody that is watching this, and please subscribe, bring in the friends, give us ideas on how to improve the show here too. There's gonna be more. I'm gonna be bringing more people to talk to, just to try and get as many minds, great minds as possible, great minds and love that comes with people that are loving a sport. We started off as focusing in South African sport. Now we've got a World Cup special. Who knows, but come festive season, come 26 December, when Barclays comes back, we're going to have a Barclays special or European special. Thank you to everybody, Kajen.
Bongile Mpetu, thanks for having me. It was great for me. And in engiyithanda kakhulu is that like siyaxoxa
i-numbers do not lie. Manje wena ufuna ukusebenza i-numbers, uyazinqala uyayishaya i-numbers.
Ama-numbers awamtshela.
They don't give you everything, but they do not lie either.
Faith, if you've played football, you've won games,